Hello everyone. It is Thursday afternoon. That means it's time for another Facebook Live. Let me get my laptop going here. We're going to play with a brand new stamp set today and brand new bundle. This is something that will be coming out in the November online exclusives. So it will be available next week, next Tuesday, November 4th. All right, let me get this shared over to my page. So if somebody's looking for it there, they can find it. Take me just a minute to do this. This will give you all a minute to find me. Hey, Betty. And I forgot to draw for last week's card. I apologize. I will do that once I'm done. Once I'm done with this live video, I'll draw for the card and then I'll post it on here. So this is the card we made last week. This is with the Traditions of Christmas suite. So I will draw after I'm done with the video and post on here who wins that. So next week, somebody will win one of these cards. Today we're going to be making 4 cards. And as I've been doing, just to remind you, if you would like to get the kit for these cards, you can place an order anytime between now and Monday night. $50 order will get you the kit for these 4 cards. Of $75 or more will get you the kit for the 4 cards plus an embellishment. All right, let's get back to where we were, and then we'll be ready to start. Okay. Whoops. That's not what I want. I just want to go here. Okay. I don't want to actually click on my video while it's running. That would be weird. You would hear echoes. So along with the kit for the class, so with the kit, I'll send you any designer series paper, but I will not send embellishments. Those are just too hard to try and ship. They just too. Also, will get a PDF that will tell you the measurements of everything and the directions, how to do it. So let's see. I'm trying to decide which card I want to give away. I think we'll give away this 3rd card. So not this one. All right, so let me show you what we're using today. This is a brand new, as I said, a brand new set that's available next week to everyone. If you are already a happy shopper, you can order this now on the pre-order. So it's a stamp set and a die, and these are the new packaging for the stamps and dies, so they're the same size. And I love that the dies now have this picture on the front, so I don't have to open it up to show you what the dies look like. So you can see this one will die cut these 2 images plus this image. And then if you put these 2 dies together, it gives you a detailed die cut like this one here. So, and then there's some ribbon that I'm using that's also new. This is Garden Green and White chevron ribbon. So I'm using some of that. And then one other new stamp that I'm using is this Lasting Linen. So this is a background stamp. And again, it's photopolymer. So as of now, all of the new stamp sets will be photopolymer. There will be no more new red rubber stamps. And as those ones either retire or if they sell out and they need to make more, then they'll make them in photopolymer. So no more new red rubber stamps now. And then this is, again, the same. So all of our stamps and dies will be in this size packaging. And I found a plastic bin at Target that they fit in perfectly. So I can just set them up in there and then I can just flip through them when I'm ready to find what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's get started making our first card. For this one, I used the, this is the Regals 6x6 in Garden Green. And I used, when I did this for my team meeting, They either had this background or this striped one. I didn't want to do the leaves or anything like that. I figured that would be a little too busy. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is stamp our background on our card base. So hopefully you can kind of see that. So this is a crumb cake card base. Get all my little pieces out here. And our ribbon. But first we want this. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it. Let me grab my bone folder. And I think it usually works better if I do it sideways on camera. So I did a little, now photopolymer kind of sticks to things, so I may have to adjust this just a little bit so that it's back in that corner. You do not want these two magnets to hit each other. They can, if your fingers get in the middle of it, it'll pinch your fingers, but they can also break. So I put a little, just a little corner there. And let's get our crumb cake ink. And we will ink up this linen background stamp. Now, crumb cake is not a very dark ink, so it is kind of hard to see. So just ink it up. If it doesn't get enough, then you can do it again. And just press that. And then when I pull this up, I'm going to slide this over just a little bit. It'll try and pull that up, and you can just kind of put your finger on that underneath side. That looks pretty good. There's a little bit there, but that's kind of the nature of this stamp anyway, is it's not real uniform. All right, let's get that out of the way. And then our other stamping is our sentiment. This is in garden green, and this is on a little scrap of crumb cake. And I put my crumb cake over there just wide open. That could have been very much messy. Very, very messy. I'm going to banner cut the end of this. So just a little cut in the middle, and then a cut from each corner. There we go. Now we're ready to put everything together. This is just a little strip of garden green. I haven't even got my adhesives. I was watching a webinar this morning, and then I had to eat lunch, and things just got away from me. And hopefully, so if you've been waiting to, hey Marion, waiting to see if I was going to be here, every time I have something planned, I have to say, as long as my granddaughter's not in the process of being born. So my daughter-in-law had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and everybody's fine. Baby's doing fine. If the baby does not come, then she will be evicted, as my son said, on Monday. So they'll induce her on Monday. So there's, still a chance she could go this week, the rest of this week or this weekend. So if I get a phone call from my son, I will be quickly stopping this and taking that phone call. All right, so I'm just putting all of this on flat. So this is that die. If you use both of those dies, it cuts that out. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the liquid glue on this. Not too much. I don't want it to ooze out. And this holds very well, so you don't need a lot. Whoops. And then I just put this in the middle of this piece of DSP. Make sure it's straight. All right, and then I took just my seal and just put a little bit of seal right there. And just stuck my ribbon down. And I probably did it like this. And then we'll put dimensionals on either side of this. And I think I can use regular ones. And then that will just straddle that ribbon. And it'll go over where you put that stamp and seal. And there you go. There is card number 1. So there's both options of the paper. All right. Card number 2. I think this one is my favorite. So this is using another new product. And that is, it may be hard to see on camera. Well, you can kind of see where it's colored maybe. It's a ribbed, what do they call it? I have it right here. Let me grab it. It is called Whispers of Texture 12 by 12. So one of them is the stripe like this, which hopefully you can kind of see. And then the other one, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera. Let me pull it out, is a crosshatch. So yeah, it's probably not going to show up on camera with no color on it, but it's just a crosshatch. But they're great for doing things like this where you add some color to it. So we are going to move everything out of the way. And let me grab my ink and everything for this card, ink and stamps. And let's move that back. All right. Okay. So I'm going to use, I do want this piece of scratch paper. This is Lost Lagoon. I'm going to take my blending brush, and I'm using a small one, and then you want to rub it off first and then lightly rub it on here, and then you can add some more pressure, but you don't want a mark like that if you can help it. Sometimes it still happens, and that's okay, but it's a lot easier to add more color than it is to take it away. So you just, and I'm not going to do it all the way to the edges. I'm just doing it in the middle. Just until you're happy with what you've got. That's pretty good. We'll do one more. So I'm just layering on more color until I'm happy with what I've got. I think that looks pretty good. So now you can see those stripes are showing up better. All right, and before we put away our Lost Lagoon, well, I'll go ahead and do this while I've got it out, and then we'll do our other piece of this. So I have this tall leaf stamp. So we're going to stamp 2 of those in Lost Lagoon. Okay. Now I'm going to move that aside. Really why I have the scratch paper is this makes a mess. So this is our light Pretty Peacock blend. And if you noticed, there's some splatters in the background of this. That's just another way to add some texture. Now you can take this and knock it on a bone folder or something, and I've done that before. You can also, and you can see it's starting to split the end of my blend, but to me this is the easiest way. So you just take it and rub it against there. Get a little more up there. There we go. And so yeah, it's starting to mess up the end of that marker, but they're not real expensive, so Probably you could even just keep some of your favorites that get messed up like that and use them for your splatter. All right, so that background is done now. We need to die cut. Excuse me, just a second. Let me get a drink of water. We need to die cut our leaves. So let me grab our die set. And these are much easier to open and close. Our last ones, they had a little flap that had to kind of go up like that. These are much easier to open and close, so I like them better. All right, so we need this die and my little die cut machine. And we'll have to do this twice. Let me grab when I'm die cutting something like this, I like to use my Post-it note tape. So I like, on this one, I like to kind of line up the top, and then it looks like it's already lined up, but it's probably going to be hard to see on camera, but through those holes, you can see that you can see the stamped color through it. And that just helps you get it, the bottom part of it. Oh, I should have probably moved this paper. Let's see if we can make it work. All right, so there's one. I always flip my plates in between just to try and help keep them from getting too warped. Let's see how we did. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, now our other one. So when you look through, if it's lined up, then you'll see the Lost Lagoon color through those two holes in the bottom. And sometimes it's hard to see, and so I'll just move it. Try and get the upper part done, and then I can just move this. Like now I can see there's something there. If I move it off, there's nothing there. Now there is. Let's see. There we go. All right. And we will need this again. We have another die cut that we'll have to make on another card. But we will set it out of the way for the moment. Get our other die cut piece. Save that because we can use it. All right, now we have our 2 leaves. So we have our leaves. That's for our sentiment. That's for the inside. We have, these are also dies from this set. So there's 2 of these. These are in Pretty Peacock. These are white. And we're going to put a little wink of Stella on them, which won't show up on camera, I'm sure, but in person, it just adds some more glimmer. So I'm just brushing it over all of it. All right. Set those aside. And now we need to stamp our sentiment. So this is in Pretty Peacock. I like these 2 colors together, the Lost Lagoon and the Pretty Peacock. I think they go well together. And so we will stamp this in the middle, hopefully straight. Not too bad. All right, now we're ready to put this all together. Let's get our card folded. And we will put our just basic white. And you could stamp some more leaves on the inside. That would be fun. I didn't do it on this one, but you certainly could. Put that right in the middle there. All right, this guy is going to go flat on here. You can see where our splatters are showing through. So blends will show through. So you want to be sure if you're splattering with them or coloring with them, you have something behind them. All right, now we're ready to start adding all of our little leaves. So I have, and I think what I did, if I remember right, I put some seal in the middle. And I've got this guy up here. This guy. And then another one of these. And one of our white ones. I wanted the white to be kind of on top of that pretty peacock. It will help it show up. And then this other guy comes out down here. And then the other white one kind of over it. And then, if I remember right, what I did is I took a little piece of tear and tape. So your sentiment is going to go over the middle there. So you're not going to see any of this where they meet up because it doesn't look real pretty in the middle there. But then once I get it where I want, just put a little, and you don't have to peel off that top. Just use it like a piece of tape. All right, now this guy is ready for dimensionals. So again, just one on each end. It's going to straddle those leaves in the middle. Uh-oh. Knocking stuff over. And that'll just go right over that whole mess and you won't see any of it. I'm going to put the lid back on that before I make a big mess. All right, and then we need, somewhere in my stack of stuff, I just used rhinestones on this. Now you could certainly color them if you wanted to. If you wanted to color them Pretty Peacock or Lost Lagoon, you could do that. I just left them plain. So I'm just going to use little ones. That's what's on this sheet. Oops, come here. There. And there you go. There is our second card. And I know that that Weka Stella is not showing up on camera, but it makes it sparkly in person. Okay. Next card, let's get this out of the way. I'm telling you, by the time I'm done, my table over here is just a total disaster. Okay, card number 3. This is the one that I will give away next week, and I'll put the dimensions for this one on my blog. So now if you place an order and get the card kit for free, you'll get a PDF that has the dimensions for all 4 cards. So this one I'm actually using an embossing folder. This is the Glass and Garden embossing folder, and I'm using this one. It is a part of the Sips, Cheers and Sips, Sips and Cheers, something. I can't remember the exact name of that suite. All right. So on this one, we have a piece. This is Soft Seafoam, and this is Mossy Meadow, but we're going to stamp our leaves in Garden Green. That's what our ribbon is. And I'm actually going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat for this one because it's a little more solid. With just doing the sentiments, it wasn't as necessary, but with this one, just to be safe. So again, this is Garden Green. I'm just going to ink that up. Doesn't matter if it's straight or not because we're going to die cut this. But you do want to be sure you have pressure. Hopefully we don't get any of that stuff in the middle. Perfect. All right. And then our sentiment, set that aside for a moment, is in Mossy Meadow. Hey, Jackie. I just saw that you came on. Sometimes I get so focused on what I'm doing, I forget to look and see if there are comments. Yeah, this is a really nice set. I like it. So this is Mossy Meadow, and we're just going to stamp it right on our card base. Now, if you mess that up and it was crooked or you overstamped it, then just stamp it on a scrap of soft sea foam and put it on there on dimensionals, and everybody will think you meant it to be like that. Nobody will know. Okay. Now let's die cut this guy. So this one is, I buried all my dies, just this outline. So that will cut out our stamped image. So let's bring our Stamp and Emboss machine back. And this one, just line up all your different leaves. Whoops, I had it and then I moved it. Let me put my... Okay, make sure I didn't move the die. There we go. All right. That's what we want. All right, and now we have this nice die cut leaves. Put my die away so I don't lose it. Okay, now we're ready to put this together. There's not much to it. We're going to put this on our Mossy Meadow. So when I cut this, and like I said, this one I'll put the dimensions on my blog, I cut it just a little bit bigger than this rectangle, not worrying about the leaves, and let them hang out over the side. And then before we put this on our card, we're going to tie a bow. So we'll see if I can tie a bow on camera. Usually I have my tweezers to help me hold it while I'm tying. So we'll see. It may not be pretty, but we'll see if we can get it done. Oh, no. Okay, let me grab my tweezers. They're right over here. So this is part of the embossing kit from Stampin' Up. They're reverse tweezers. So once I get that pulled tight, I can squeeze them and open them up and then just put them there to hold that. That way I can tie my bow without it getting so loose around the paper. Whoops, come here. You know, I've told you tying bows on camera is always, that got twisted, always a challenge. Come here. Because you want to get it a little bit tight, and then you can pull those off. And then you can mess with it some more. Till you get it about like you want it. There we go. Let's trim that a little bit. All right, then this guy's going to go on dimensionals. I need to figure out a better way to keep everything handy while I'm doing this instead of just throwing it on my table and then trying to find it later. Because these were buried again, but luckily they were peeking out. All right. And then this guy just goes right in there. So when I first was working on this, I didn't have this embossing in the background and it seemed kind of plain. So that embossing really just adds a little more texture to it. And I didn't add any embellishments, just the ribbon is our only embellishment on this one. All right, one more. I wanted to do one that was not greens. So this is Cloud Cover and Secret Sea. This is glimmer paper that comes with the Peaceful Garden, I think it's called, suite. And then I used the little flowers that came from that too. So this is a real simple one, but sometimes you just need a simple card. And I punched these out with our punches. So this is our card base in Cloud Cover. Let me grab. Now I have a Cloud Cover ink pad, and I don't think these are available. If they are, they're on last chance. Stampin' Up! Wasn't pleased with how the color of this, on some of them, it didn't last right, didn't stay true to color on this ink pad. And so that's why they pulled these big ones. Now you can buy a set of, let me just show you, I happen to have a set sitting right here, of ink spots, uninked. This, whatever it is, whatever the foam is that's in here is different than this. And this ink, for whatever reason, doesn't react to this foam like it does the big one. So if you want Cloud Cover ink, you can buy those uninked spots and buy a re-inker and make your own Cloud Cover ink spot. But I have this one, and it seems to be working okay for me, so I've been using it. If I ever get to the point where I think it's not the right color, then I'll just get a re-inker and ink up a spot. So this is just a little, well, you can kind of see here, a long little vine. And so I'm just going to stamp it, and it doesn't have to be straight, and I didn't connect them. Just stamp them. And then I want to be sure that I don't stamp it the same. I don't want a line going all the way across, that they're all in the same spot. And see, they're not straight. I think I did 4. So let's do, I like that. It's just a little background. And then I took, we're done with Cloud Cover. Then I took Secret Sea and stamped these leaves in Secret Sea. Whoa, that was close. Luckily, it didn't get on the card. Just kind of stamp them willy-nilly on here. Just all different directions, some of them going off. Let's do one more, like this. There we go. Oh, and we need to do our sentiment. It is also in Secret Sea. So just stamp that in your middle. And you know, I was thinking about, let's try it on this one. I meant to tell people in my team meeting that they could do this, and I completely forgot. But after the fact, I wondered about just putting one more of these just on the left side of that. So we'll see if we like that. Okay, now this is super easy. I did use liquid glue on this. I wasn't sure if the Stampin' Seal would stick to this glimmer paper, so I used liquid glue. Just put it in the middle of that glimmer paper. Yeah, I do kind of like that. I like that. And then dimensionals. I'm just going to put 2 since that's all that's left on there without cutting it. That goes right there. And then somewhere over here. These are the Hues of Blue flowers. They go with that Peaceful Garden suite. But I thought they went just fine with this too, since we have all these leaves. So it comes in 4 colors. I used the 2 darker colors. So let's get this guy and a little one, which we won't put over on top of that. Oh, maybe we, oh, see, that didn't even stick. My other one did. Maybe I just didn't hold it long enough. Maybe we should put it on top of that vine. It'd be kind of fun. Okay. And then let's do one more. Did I use a 3rd color? No, I think I used this one again. Over here somewhere. There we go. So that is our 4th card. So again, a real simple one, but fun to do. It's always fun to make background images with your stamps. You can do that with a lot of stamps. All right, so let's look at everything we made today. Oh, they're all going this way. We couldn't get them all on here. So that is everything we made with our new Friendly Foliage stamps and dies. So, thank you, Jackie. I'm glad you liked them. Yeah, it's been a fun set. I'm getting ready to go to Vegas a week from Monday. We leave for the Stampin' Up's leadership, and I think I may make swaps with this set. At least that's what I'm thinking. I haven't decided for sure. Hopefully I'll have time with the new grandbaby coming. All right. Again, I will draw for the last week's card after this. I'm looking for my calendar. So just to let you know, this is what's coming up for me. Next Tuesday is Cinderella's Pumpkins online. If you are a Paper Pumpkin customer of mine or on my team and get Paper Pumpkin, you would have gotten an invitation to that. Monthly card class is next Thursday. So the deadline to sign up for that is Monday. Just giving myself an extra day or so with new grandbaby. This class, I have a few cards kind of made, and I need to, this little guy fell off. He fell off of this snowflake. Looks like his glue dot is still there, so we'll see if we can get him back on there. All right, why am I doing this when I have a tool that does this? Which is missing. I'm telling you, it's probably right in front of me somewhere, but I don't see it. All right, well, this little guy goes right there. So this is Elegant, I don't have it right here, Elegant Pine Snowflakes. So with this, the plan is you'll get this DSP. This is a faux linen technique, so that's why it looks different. It's tissue paper on top of it. You'll get a pack of the DSP, a bolt of the ribbon, and a set of these embellishments. So that, the payment is due Sunday. So sign up and payment is due Sunday because they're kind of behind on shipping with the free shipping last week, and then all of the people that have been joining Stampin' Up because of the wonderful join offer. So I need to be sure I can get it in as soon as possible. So payment due Sunday for this one. So this is one of the cards. This is another one. And this ribbon is really wide. So that's why I'm just kind of using it more like that and not tying a bow. And then this is another one, although I'll probably rework this one because this is going to be a Stamp-A-Stack of 12 cards. And this is 3 different stamping. And so that's a lot to do in a for everybody to make 3 of these cards. Sorry, I had to stop and think. There's going to be another card. I haven't designed it yet. But for everybody to make 3 of these then. So I may rework this. I'm hoping there's something in the DSP we can just die cut for that. And then there'll be a 4th card too. So if this is something you would like to make and get that paper and those embellishments and ribbon, then sign up and pay me by Sunday. I do Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, check, cash. I can't take a credit card for it. And then my team meeting is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so we'll see how that works out. All right. I think that is it. Again, I will draw for this right after I get off this video, so you will know who won that card. All right. As far as I know, I will be back next Thursday. I don't really know when they will need me to help, because with 2 other kids, and this is their 3rd one, they're going to need help. So I'm liable to be picking up Liam from school, and that will conflict with this. So I will see how the first part of the week goes, and then let you know if I need to adjust the time or skip a week or whatever. But I will keep you updated on that. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.